Hello everybody, welcome to this very impromptu Elite FPL vlog style video with myself, Steve, and
Ray Qureshi.
Ray? Yeah, I'm out with Ray. I've been out with Ray for, how long's it been?
We started at 4 AM this morning. Since 1, so that's 4 hours. It's been a beautiful day. We've been everywhere.
It's 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I'm not going to fuck about. Me and Ray went to Nando's and I bought a boneless platter and Ray bought a weak
Butterfly chicken, 2 sides like a human being.
Yeah, and then Ray decided we were going to get dessert, which consisted of him getting cheesecake, me 2 cheesecake, because technically Ray owed me money, and I was just like, well, you may as well just get me the dessert, and then bang, essentially, you've paid your debt and saved yourself £4 as well. So,
and Stevo's bulking.
Ray is, I'm not bulking, I'm fucking trying to slim down, mate. Then we decided, during that time in Nando's, we legitimately just spoke FPL for, what, 2 and a bit hours?
Absolutely.
2 and a bit hours. Now, we were just about to sit down because, I mean, look at that. Pause. So we've now sat down, and we're actually near Buckingham Palace, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're in St James's Park, and we've been sat out here for, what, an hour?
Yep.
Maybe, or so? And we then decided to check on the FPL X community that I slag off, and we wanted to just kind of get an idea of how people's wildcards are doing. But during the time in Nando's, we spent talking about mine and Ray's wildcard, and basically we came to a consensus of what my team is going to be. Now, by the time this video's out, you've probably already seen it, but I don't care. We're recording this now at, like Ray said, 5 o'clock in the evening, and basically we're very, very happy with the team, aren't we, Ray? Like, really happy with our team.
Yeah, so originally what we were thinking is we were definitely, I mean, Steve already done the stream, excellent stream, and we were thinking that we would free hit in 34 during the blank. And I spoke with a couple of people online who were DMing me their teams and also what they were thinking of doing, and one specifically who's in the top 700 in the world at the moment, doing absolutely brilliantly. And he said, well, Ray, he sent me his draft. I was like, oh, this is a bit different, you know, what's going on with such and such teams here and there? And he goes, well, what I'm actually going to do is I am planning to not use a chip in 34 and free hit in 33. And then that got me thinking of last season, and kind of historically, when you use a free hit chip during a blank game week, how many points are you really going to get? And I remember last season, Steve-O, you were talking about, oh, well, if you use a free hit on a blank, that's unwise, to say it in technical terms. And I remember using it last season. I think I made 10 points. And when people were using free hit on a big double, they were coming up with an incredible amount of points. So I came to Steve-O and said, you know what, why don't we build a team where with like 1 or 2 transfers that we would have banked, we can, you know, survive blank game week, still have a lot of top assets, bring in the likes of players we're going to talk about in a minute, and we can use the free hit chip in 33. And I think we built a team that we were very happy with, which kind of, you know, gets us going through these game weeks. And then, you know, we can use, if I may now, we'll use wildcard now, triple captain 32, free hit 33, 34 we've got 3 or 4 transfers which we banked, bring in a couple of players there, and then look to bench boost in 36, Steve. So I think we've got everything there.
I think the main thing that I enjoyed about the wildcard draft that you brought to me originally and my wildcard draft is that there were, what, 5 players, 6 players different, give or take?
But mostly from the same teams.
Mostly from the same team. So, like you said to me, the combination. So, if you're having Henderson, Steve-O, who are you having with Henderson?
Yeah.
And I went, would it be Timber? Right, well, I think that you should be going with Raya
and Munoz.
Yeah. Didn't bring in any of them. That's the kind of consensus. But there's a reason for that, because as Ray stated, this is what was amazing about me and Ray talking to one another in person rather than over the internet, which is we can converse properly and we can actually show diagrams using, is it Team Review you had, or whatever it's called, Team Plan?
Yeah, Plan FPL. For me, the best planner, and also Ben Crellin's expected fixtures, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we were able to use them both at the same time and show each other's drafts, I guess, to each other.
Yeah, and it was just such a simple, easy way of conversing with one another that we came to the consensus of actually we feel that we've come up with a really good team. Now, some of the contentious decisions were around the likes of whether or not to bring in Savinho. Oh, and also we discovered during the meal that Cliver probably won't be playing tomorrow.
Yeah, so we were really happy, you know. I went for a high five, but Sivo decided that he was 7 years old.
My hand,
And he goes, oh.
You do it with all the women.
Oh, you can't.
Come on, Sarah, give me a high five. Oh, well, my favourite one, Ray, is
come
when
on,
you go.
Ashley.
Yeah.
Give us a wave.
My favourite one is, give me a high five, and they do that, and you literally grab their hand, and you're like, oh, do you like me now? So you get some nonsense like that. Anyhow, the point being is that...
So when that happened, Sivo went and, went to freshen up, as they say, and he came back, and I just plopped my phone in front, and I said, look at this. And it said, Cliver is a doubt. So then we probably spent about 10 minutes discussing if we should bring in Savinho, should we look at Aston Villa, should we look at Gibbs White, and then
well, the reason why we're looking at the likes of Savinho and stuff is because it's attacking that Leicester fixture.
Yeah.
But we were just constantly saying, no, think about blank game week 34. We want to be in a position where when we get to that point, we can actually have a team which we're happy with and have transfers to only use maybe a couple to be able to bring in the likes of, well, what is it, Cunha and Jota were the two that we kind of...
Cunha and Jota for
Mateta and Eze. Mateta and Eze. So, do you want to actually start walking?
Yeah.
Walk and talk. We'll walk and talk. Hold on a minute.
Right.
Yeah. We'll walk towards Buckingham Palace. It'd be a lot easier.
Perfect.
But certainly, we were really contemplating regarding how we're going to tackle game week 34. I was like, oh, I want a free hit, I want a free hit, I want a free hit. But Ray's like, no, we want to use that in game week 33, basically. So I respect Ray's opinion, and I'm just like, do you know what? Let's go with that plan 33, and now let's look at the players that we can bring in that will also be available for game week 34. So the team we went with was Henderson in goal and Areola. Now, we were tempted with Sells, but it was just a simple case of I don't really want to be having to have Sells on the bench. Plus, West Ham have got Southampton, isn't it, in 34? I'm sure it's Southampton in 34.
They got Southampton in...
I'm sure it's 34. You looked at it.
No, they got They got Southampton in 33.
33, right.
But
so,
that's free hit.
That's on free hit.
But in 34, they have a fixture, and that's away to Brighton.
And that's the key for us. Because we were thinking more about, because when we were looking at our team, we were thinking more about the fact that, hold on a minute here, we need to have players that are definitely playing no matter what. Outfield players specifically.
Yeah.
So we came to the conclusion with the two goalkeepers. We're happy with Henderson and Areola. Then in the defence, we have, it's all standard stuff really. We have got, why don't you show them what you're looking at? Just point the camera just so you can see it there.
Can you see that? Can you really see that?
I don't have a fucking clue, mate. Either way, he's got the FPL planner up, and basically
I could read it, yeah?
Go on, read it out. What are the 5 defenders we went with in the end?
So we've gone with Gabriel Magalhaes. We've gone for Kieran Trippier.
Yes, yeah. Now, I was adamant on having Trippier because I think he could be a really, really good Newcastle differential asset.
Yeah, I mean, I went with Burn initially, but then when Sivo said Trippier, and then he kind of had to say again Trippier, I was like, oh yeah, bonus points, set pieces, FPL love him, he'll probably play wing back in a couple of games when they play 3 at the back. I was like, you're quite right. So we've gone Gabriel, Trippier, Gvardiol.
Yeah, that's
which
obvious.
Really feels like a shield move, but fuck it, we've done that.
Yeah.
And then we've gone double Forest defence in Milenkovic and Murillo.
And what was the reason for that again, Ray?
is that in 34, it's most likely that they're going to play.
Yeah.
And also in 33, I think they're expected to double, aren't they, Steve?
Yeah, again, this is all speculative thought processes regarding Nottingham Forest, if they double or not. We trust Ben Crellin, and we have a good idea. He usually has a good idea of when these particular things will happen. He did say an unlikely double, but the key for me and Ray is like finding those options which we could legitimately have for blank game week 34. We were really looking at 34, weren't we, at the options of who we were going to have, basically, weren't we? So Nottingham Forest defenders were kind of like a level in which we could afford, because Murillo's 4.7, wasn't it?
4.7, Milenkovic is 4.9, so you're getting two fantastic nailed defenders for fantastic defence, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And just to give you an idea of where we are in St James, well, we have been at St James's Park, so you've got a group of people over here who I'm about to point the camera to in 2 seconds.
Hi.
Yeah. And you got Buckingham Palace just over there. So we're going to go to Buckingham Palace and talk FPL outside Buckingham Palace like I did 2 years ago. As I explained to Ray, there was a moment where one of the women from Tesco's was randomly bike riding and saw me when I was recording a video like this. But anyhow, so yeah, we went with Milenkovic and Murillo because it gives us two guaranteed starters for a minimum of blank game week 34. So on to midfield. Now this was
forward,
the...
I think because that's like...
yeah, the forward line is... in fact, why don't you put a comment below if I've put the comments on, which is probably not likely, but who knows.
You won't believe who the three are.
Yeah, take a guess. Put in the comments. Subscribe. In fact, why don't you subscribe as well while you're at it, while you're writing the comment. It is...
Was it like, share, subscribe?
Like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell, and then you've got to do this. Pathetic, isn't it?
Better than those shitty graphics you see, where you get the tick and the ding.
Oh, wait a minute, we were discussing something earlier. We're not allowed to talk about that, are we?
Was it? Oh, can't be saying that.
Yeah, can't be saying that. So anyway,
it's cretinous.
We basically went with Isaac, Marmouche, and we're going to be captaining Marmouche, aren't we? Most likely.
Oh, but yes, absolutely. Home to Leicester City in the rank we're in at the moment, just outside 1 million. I think really got to attack it.
Yeah, as the winds just decide to pick up, surprise, surprise. While it has picked up, I'm just going to give you the view of what me and Ray can look at, or looking at.
Beautiful.
Right. Obviously, as we're getting closer, we'll be able to give you a better view of Buckingham Palace. It's ridiculous, isn't it? So anyhow, yeah, it's Isaac Marmouche and Mateta. Now, the key for that is that, like Ray said earlier, when it gets to blank 34, we've booked in our transfers. In fact, what was that again? Plan FPL? What was it?
Plan FPL, yeah.
Yeah, and Ray basically stuck a gun to my head and said, you need to get this app. And, what is it? Is it an app or a...
It's an app, and Steve-O will say, I'll respect you enough to listen to you, but I probably won't do it.
So I'm going to use that app next season if I'm playing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
If I'm playing, and essentially we did our moves for game week 34, where we are going to be doing Cunha in because he's got Leicester, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So he's got Leicester at home, and then we are going to have, someone against Tottenham. Liverpool would be either Diaz or Jota. Jota's for me, is the nice punt Ray.
Yes, but we haven't revealed our midfield yet.
No. But I'm about to now because, like I state, with the players that we've got, as I pause it while the wind is... In fact, I'll just switch the camera around while the wind is blowing. Yeah, so back again, and yeah, so the plan would be obviously Mateta out later on, because like me and Ray have just said, his friend, what did you say, Swap, wasn't it?
Yeah, Swap Nil.
This guy.
Yeah, I'll definitely tag him when it's
tag him in this. He's doing very, very well, and his team is, you would not believe it. Do you want to read out his team quickly? His team is absolutely mental, and while Ray's looking, I'll just give you a better view of Buchan.
Okay, I'm ready. Cells and Sar.
Cells and Sar.
Then we got Milenkovic, Kirkez, Van Dijk, Livramento and Byrne. Midfield, he's got Sar, Kluivert. I expect he might change it, but Sar, Kluivert, Mbumo, Salah, and Son. And
That's
then up
right,
front,
Son.
3.
Yeah, and basically, me and Ray were quite horrified. We were quite horrified by that, to be honest with you. So basically, I've just bashed my leg against the thing there. We were quite horrified by that, but there was reasonings for it, because like you stated, he's looking at blank game week 34 where he doesn't want to waste any chips.
Yeah.
So he's kind of looking at that. Now I think personally our team is looking better when we reveal our midfield, personally. I think that what we are doing with our midfield actually feels quite sexy. So the midfield that we've gone for is, we're going with Palmer. Palmer's the placeholder for Saka. Because of the news, then we got Salah, obviously. So Salah, and then Murphy, and then
God, the big one, isn't it? So because we heard the news on Kluivert.
Oh yeah, no. So we got Palmer, Salah,
Eze, Murphy.
Oh, Eze,
Oh yeah.
So Eze, we're going with Eze because basically we're kind of idiots and attacking. We're kind of just going against Sar. Do you really think it's a wise idea to go against Eze? To go against
Sar. I just feel, Eze is quite a streak player, so he could suddenly go through the motions and start playing really well, and most likely the talisman as well. However, I can understand why people have gone for Sar, but because of our last pick, if you like, we thought that Eze would be the player that would go for initially and last us till game week 34, isn't it, Steve? Doing that blank. And that last player is Antoine Semenyo.
Yeah.
We love that Ipswich fixture at home, and without Kluivert, if he's not playing, I think we were both in agreement, or definitely me, thought that Semenyo would like.
I don't like the move, did I? I'm not even a fan of having a Bournemouth player, but most people are going to have a Bournemouth. I mean, we were looking at the players, weren't we? I mean, I've just seen the time. There's an hour to go before the deadline as we're recording this, and basically,
I think bringing in Semenyo has almost stamped the idea that we're not going to free hit in 34.
Yeah.
Because he's got a fixture against Man United.
Yeah.
That's kind of the player.
And like you stated, I think the one thing we're really happy with this team is that when we get to game week 34, and we're kind of knowing that Nottingham Forest are most likely going to play due to TV schedules, we've got a full 11, including that Jota in for whoever it was, Eze, and Cunha in for Mateta.
Yeah.
And it actually feels like I've actually done planning for once, but that's the point about conversing in person.
Yeah.
Is that we have been able to discuss ideas properly with information literally in our hands and gone through a plan. I mean, we're not joking, we were talking just over 2 hours about it.
Yeah,
so
I
it made it easy to converse and strategize. What's the word?
Strategize. And I think also what the good thing as well by speaking together is Steve-O didn't know I was going to, come into our meet today and kind of discuss, you know what, why don't we hold the free hit for 34 and let's use it a week early, simply because even last season, a lot of the discussion that you and I had was about, Ray, why would the free hit in the blank? Just take a -8. Yeah, bring in 8 players. It's okay. And I realised that, you know what, I literally just made 10 points more. And also with you as well last season, Steve, you almost got FOMO'd into free hitting when you didn't want to, isn't it?
Yeah, yes, and one of the reasons why.
Closer! I thought he was pushing me away.
Come on, I'm a professional here. No, but in all seriousness, I think that last season it was because the teams were just shit.
Yeah,
they were garbage, and I think free hitting for that was just a waste. And like you stated, me and you can now, with the free hit 33, maximise on Arsenal.
And Liverpool.
So you said you think Saka starts today?
I have predicted Saka will start tonight and have an hour.
Just reminded me, I must make sure I do my Super Brew. I must make sure I do my Super Brew.
2-0.
Yeah,
1-0.
what did you say, Fulham?
I said 2-0.
I'll go 2-0 as well, yeah.
Yeah, then you can't catch me up.
But you did give me some interesting history. They haven't beaten before.
Yeah, so it's been 3 draws and a defeat. So we drew 1-1 at their end. Last season we lost 2-1 and we drew at home 2-2, I believe. Season before, I believe it was a draw as well. So yeah, we've struggled. Minimum 3 games we've not beaten them. So
great. Well,
Smith Rowe, Nelson, fucking Willian, all these former Arsenal players. Leno, the goalkeeper. Yeah, Leno, the goalkeeper as well. They could potentially start 5 former Arsenal players tonight. So.
And they're better away from home. I still, like we said, we still expect to win.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it is because Fulham also played the FA Cup and were soundly beaten by Palace, isn't it? So I kind of feel like, hopefully, even though I'm a big fan of Fulham, is, their motivation won't be too high. And Steve, you kind of said something about possibly kind of on holiday a bit, isn't it, as well? They've had a wonderful season. They'll finish in the top 9 likely. So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something. Another thing you stated about the double game week 33 is that these teams will have something to play for.
Yeah.
A lot of the teams in double game week 33 will play for, but when we get to the game week 36, it's going to be a case of, oh wait a minute, I can't even tell you which teams are doubling in 36 right now, but certainly a lot of those today, as the wind has just blown out my eyes there. We know that sometimes by game week 36 some teams are, rotating around. We were just seeing Haaland's out for 7 weeks.
Yeah, so as we were prepping for this, I just said to Haaland that I just said to Steve-O that, should we cross the road?
Yeah. Wait around. Maybe I could just do it. Look right. Look left. Is there anybody coming, Ray? No? Right.
It's like the hedgehog.
Yeah. As we walk across to this area here. Yeah, so we just found out Haaland's out injured, which means, of course, he's out for 7 weeks, which means he's going to be out for basically the rest of the season.
Yeah, Guardiola said 5 to 7 weeks, so he said maybe the last game against Fulham. Basically, if Man City get into the final of the FA Cup, I definitely think Haaland's going to start the FA Cup final. But from an FPL aspect, it's over. Yeah, I think so.
If Marmoush doesn't perform, which...
No, but Marmoush will likely start. I think Marmoush is in their first 11 now, Steve, with Haaland.
Yeah, you said something earlier on as well about Foden. You weren't too keen on me bringing in Foden for... You'd rather have Palmer instead of Foden.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the obvious reasons, it's, from a TFF, there's my bingo card. I haven't mentioned TFF. I've had Foden for about a month and I can't get rid of him because all my other players are getting injured.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, Foden's had a very poor season. He's played very poorly, and I think it shows a lot that if the team really aren't ticking around him, he can't really pull them out of the fire as, the likes of some of the other England attackers can, like Saka and Palmer, in my opinion. And I didn't like the idea of spending that much budget on Foden when I'm thinking, well, let's go for Palmer, and as he rightly said, we'll bring in Saka and then decide what we want to do after that,
Yeah, I do. I love the fact that I sent you the idea of having Palmer as that Saka enabler.
Yeah.
And the fact that you think he's going to start tonight, I'm not confident on that, but
I don't think he's a player to bring in.
No.
Not yet, but
because
yeah.
we did see FPL Olympian had brought in Saka, benched him, which if you're going to bring him in, you may as well just...
100. Might as well take that punt, as they say, to actually start him. And someone else as well,
fuck it.
Tommy Gunn, know him as well. I believe he's wildcarded Saka in when I saw on X just before we started as well, Steve.
It's incredible to do that, like, now.
Yeah,
It's incredible to do that. I just want to look at that over there for a second. Maybe wondering what I want to be looking at for a second.
Sunshine.
Well, apart from sunshine and topping up my tan, I always love these maps. Great. Oh, Westminster's over there. Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So
We came from there, Steve. We came from there.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Their meaning,
Right.
as Ray points
Castle
out,
Lane.
down there. Castle Lane, is that what it's called?
Sorry,
Okay.
Castle.
Okay. Castle, yeah, as I pronounce it. But no, certainly, yeah, the idea of having in Palmer as that make weight, because we've got him, I keep forgetting, double game week 33, we're going to be having...
Hold on.
Arsenal...
Saka is not an enabler. Palmer's not an enabler because we're going to be free hitting in 33.
33, yeah.
And Palmer plays in 34. So
yes, that's
we're
right.
actually
Yes,
just-
yeah. That's
We'll
right.
come-
Yes.
We're actually just keeping Palmer.
This is why Ray's a genius, basically. This is why I pay him nothing to help me with my
FPL
FPL
hires me
team.
for my services and pays me love and affection.
So essentially, yeah, we
How
have
much
got,
shorter can you make me look now?
Well, what did you say earlier
Come
on?
down.
What did you say earlier on? I make you look small in Nando's, and now, well, we can do it like.
I'm actually 5'2",
running down
everyone.
here. Yeah, I'm on a pavement. But yes, that's a nice picture actually. Maybe I could. You've got a good smile, Ray. There we are. Perfect. But yeah, the fact that we've done some really good planning, I think that I'm really happy with. So just to reiterate the team again, Ray, off the top of your head, the two goalkeepers are
Henderson and Areola.
In defence, it's
Gabriel. A quick one after the lineup. I want to talk about should we still have Gabriel? It's Gabriel, Gvardiol, Trippier, Milenkovic, Murillo.
yeah, midfield of
Salah,
Yep.
Palmer,
yeah,
Semenyo, Eze, and Murphy.
yeah.
And the front three, very differential. Mateta, Isak, and Madamush. Now,
Yeah.
one of the things I discussed, leave in the comments, as Steve would say,
If
is
they're
rather
on.
than having
Do I keep the
Gabriel.
comments on or not?
You know what? Don't have it and everyone can complain. I like that idea. Is rather than Gabriel, should we have Van Dijk? Because then at least we don't have to, then we have Van Dijk playing in 34, don't we?
But we've
have
got.
Arsenal.
Yeah, but Arsenal's upcoming fixtures are solid enough. I think he's got more attacking threat than Van Dijk, and we've got an 11 to 34 anyway. That would just mean that we'd have 11 players for 34.
That's very true, and I do like the idea of us bringing in Jota and Cunha, and maybe if we have Van Dijk, we might hesitate to bring both.
Yeah, it's the fact that it's at Tottenham as well at home. Yeah, we'd expect them to win.
Well, we would have Van
But,
Dijk.
yeah, great.
Oh yeah, but we'd probably Liverpool probably concede though, isn't it? I mean, Spurs have good attackers.
Yeah, they do. Me and Ray we're going to show you this in a minute. In fact, I'll just do it now. This building there. Yeah, that building there was that we reckon $4,000 a month on rent. It's just ludicrous, really. I know we're going off topic. Oh, can't be saying that, Ray.
Wait, what's it? Edit it out. No, keep it in.
What? What you did you have you seen that bit in The Office yet? When
Yes.
he says that you've seen that bit in The Office. What? You're talking about FPL for 2.5 hours, and when you want to start talking about a different subject matter like the expense of how much the you want to edit that bit out. No, keep that bit in. It's tragic, isn't it? But no, I think we've pretty much summed up all our thoughts, Ray, about this Wildcard 30 team we've done. I'm actually happy with it. I genuinely am happy with the team that we've created. I think we've actually come up with a really good plan. And I think in some ways as well, it's like, because of this conversation we've had, and I just think to ourselves, like, we really have had a very unlucky season. I think that if the way we've planned it today continues the way our season's going to go, it doesn't matter what we've talked about today, it's going to go to shit.
I think what I also like is we've punted a little bit with a few players, you know. Semenyo's still not highly owned, even Eze's not highly owned, to be honest with you, Steve.
Eze's the one, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think he and Semenyo might actually hold the key a little bit, and also what I do like is we do have flexibility with positions, so we can move it around a bit, you know.
And we've got what, 0.4 in the bank?
Precisely, and we've got decent price points as well. If Palmer's playing shit, it's quite easy to take him out. We've got all that money sitting in, and the three we have in attack, let's be honest, or everyone's going to own them, aren't they, Greg? So,
yeah.
But otherwise, yeah, I think if we stick to what we're saying in regards to how we're going to use the chips and then the bench boost in 36, I do believe we are actually going to climb the ranks. Because simply, as you said, we met today. We were shooting the shit about the teams and the drafts and everything like that. That I am confident that hopefully we're going to end the season well, Sivo.
Yeah, and I think by game week 36, obviously we know the lay of the land, and we can, at 36 to 38 is when you can take some really nice punts as well.
Yeah.
There'll be teams that are literally playing players which they're looking at to be playing next season. Like I used Oscar Bob of Man City as a perfect example of.
You can imagine playing a few of the last games, isn't it? You can imagine him, yeah. I
really do think that there's a small possibility that there are players towards the end of the season that are going to be thinking to themselves, you know what, hasn't played all season, let's give them a run out. We've already cemented our position in the league, wherever that may be. So, yeah, should be good. On that note, Ray, I'm going to get out of here. Well, so are you, because we're both together. So, do you want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can't leave comments. Follow me on @Ray_.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow the channel and go onto the Patreon. Absolutely go onto the Patreon. And the Total Sivo podcast.
No. See you later.